lot of things with ketogenesis is going to be with the duration of fasting. And so if you're really trying to increase ketone levels, you probably do need to have something like a 6 or 8 hour eating window to really significantly change ketone levels, or to do things like fasting mimicking diets, at least for part of the day, if not every so often. I know a lot of them do, like maybe 5 days of fasting mimicking, and then you go back to normal. Or you could say maybe your dinner is very low glycemic dinner, and then you have a relatively longer fasting period or fasting mimicking period. But a lot of ketones are, production is really getting into how long you're fasting. And so that's still one of the theories of one of the mechanisms that time restricted eating can play through, is potentially increasing ketone levels over time. But if you're doing like a 10-hour window, you're still seeing a lot of benefits in the absence of dramatic changes in ketone levels. That being said, there hasn't been a lot of research that's actually measured ketone levels regularly to see if there's much of a change there. But from what we know, it's not a very dramatic change the same way you would get from really long-term fasting. And so I think we think of TRE a couple ways. Of one, you're getting a proper fasting, at least kind of a minimum amount where your ketone levels are reasonable. You're probably not getting a huge activation. And so we think the main benefit is coming from the circadian alignment, and really kind of, again, not having these, again, for glucose regulation issues or overactive, like stimulating muscle or the brain at wrong times of day. So you are able to get a proper rest at night as well. I think those are probably bigger factors. But again, these things can go hand in hand, right? If you're doing a ketogenic diet, there's no reason you couldn't do it at the time of day when your body is ready to eat. I would expect that these would work well together. But ketogenic diets have to be done really well. If they're done improperly, they can have negative side effects. Same with fasting mimicking. I think you have to make sure you're really getting proper nutrients. And it's not, there's good and bad ways to do any kind of diet, right? You could be a very unhealthy vegan, or you could be a very healthy
that's exactly. That's a very, very important message. That's how I ended my lecture. There's a bad way of doing any diet.
Hey, would you like to know how to use food as medicine for your genes? Get access to my free webinar using the link in the video description. I hope you enjoyed the webinar, and if you do, please make sure to comment and share.